Does God have anything to say? Hey everyone, have you ever had a dream that just stuck with you? One that felt meaningful, like it was trying to tell you something? Well, it turns out St. John Bosco believed dreams could be like that. This isn't about predicting the lottery numbers, but about tapping into our own souls through the language of dreams. This week we're diving into what St. John Bosco would say about your dreams, the weird, the wild, the ones that leave you scratching your head. Buckle up, folks. Telemetry about to get spiritual. It's a heads up. These interpretations are generated by a specialized AI, drawing on years of rich scriptural symbolism and wisdom from the saints. It's like seeing your dreams through the lens of tradition, as inspired by St. John Bosco's approach to understanding them.
I found myself working at a large grocery or big box store, very different from my real-life role as a software engineer. The store was vast, impersonal, and open, with the sense of a place designed to serve the masses. I was seated on a chair waiting to speak with management, holding what I thought was recording equipment. However, within the dream, it was treated as a vacuum cleaner, and I realized I was there to sell it to the manager. Management was behind an open door. I could hear them speaking casually. "We have a vacuum cleaner salesman here." Laugh. "Haven't seen one of those for a while." They dismissed me entirely with no concern that I could hear them. There was no attempt to impress me or hide their apathy. Trying to shift their perception, I called out, "I'm Mike's brother." But this carried no weight. They continued ignoring me. Eventually, I approached the doorway, the arch that led to their office. I changed my mind about the appointment and said, "Don't worry about it." At that exact moment, while standing in the archway, a force hit. It felt like a missile had hit the building. I didn't hear it as much as I felt it in my body. I shook violently and almost fell over. It was a sensation of being pulled out of my body, but I somehow remained standing. Despite the violence of it, nothing around me broke. I recovered, but the force of it lingered. This dream is highly charged and symbolic, a hierarchical diagnosis dream that uses humiliation, rejection, failed signaling, and a spiritual missile strike to test and reveal unfitness, allegiance, and misplaced identity. Let's break it down. 1. The grocery store, a demotion or false assignment. You are a software engineer, yet you are found working at a big box grocery store, a mass distribution hub for the bare minimum needed to live. This is a spiritual demotion. You are no longer operating in the realm of high function or code, structure, logic, spiritual architecture. Instead, you are in the world of base maintenance, feeding the masses, managing excess and false community. The setting is vast, impersonal, and low tier, a signal that you are not where your soul is meant to operate. 2. The vacuum cleaner, misinterpreted tech, useless offering. You bring recording equipment, a symbol of testimony, witness, memory, prophetic data, but in this world, it is interpreted as a vacuum cleaner, a tool for cleaning, servitude, and menial hygiene. You come bearing a spiritual tool, and the management downgrades it to an appliance. They do not need your witness. They do not care for your offering. You are a novelty, not a threat. This is a rejection of your signal. 3. The management, closed hierarchy, unimpressed. Behind the door is power and decision-making, but they are apathetic. You hear them mock the situation. "We have a vacuum cleaner salesman here." They do not fear or respect your presence. This is a crushing exposure of your insignificance within this hierarchy. Even when you invoke lineage, I'm Mike's brother, you are ignored. In this framework, that is a devastating rejection of identity, kinship, and inheritance. The name has no power here. This signals cut lineage or failure to inherit. 4. The archway and the missile strike, divine judgment. You retreat to the threshold, the archway, the place of transition. In ancient structures, the arch is the symbolic division between holy and profane, inner and outer. There, as you say, don't worry about it. You abandon your attempt to gain entrance. And then, impact, a missile strike, not seen, only felt. Your body shakes violently. You nearly fall. You feel yourself pulled out. This is not a dream event. This is a strike from outside the dream logic. It is an external judgment. It is the only thing in the dream not belonging to the hierarchy of man. It is a cosmic signal, a punitive strike, or a call to awaken violently. It arrives as you give up. That moment, pulling back, walking away from the threshold, is what triggers the strike. The hierarchy might mock you, but something higher sees the retreat as failure. Final interpretation. You were placed in a test environment to see what kind of offering you would bring, how you would interpret rejection, and whether you would stand your ground or retreat. You brought a mistranslated tool. You invoked a name that failed. You gave up and then were struck from beyond. This is a dream of failure, humiliation, and confrontation with the threshold. The missile strike is not punishment. It is the call to stand, to endure the mockery, to refuse retreat. You are not a vacuum cleaner salesman. You are not Mike's brother in this realm. You are standing before a gate, and it will shake you to the core to enter. This dream captures the spiritual descent that comes with pursuing the cross, a journey that doesn't elevate you in worldly status, but steadily strips you of it. At first, you're trusted with intellect, systems, and influence. Then you're moved to labor over food, basic, physical, service. And finally, you're brought down to the lowest tier, waste, where you manage what others discard. It mirrors Christ's own path from teaching and healing to betrayal, to humiliation, to being treated as refuse. The world demotes what is holy, and to follow Christ is to accept that path, not toward recognition, but toward rejection. The dream shows how each step is not a loss of worth, but a participation in the mystery of the cross.